How do you do scientific notation? There are numbers that are so big or so small that we don't have a name for those numbers because they're just too big or too small. And they can oftentimes be hard to deal with. So we're going to show you something called scientific notation. Now the sun is 150 billion meters away from the Earth. That's a big number. Putting commas on it makes it less likely you're going to lose a zero, but you might lose a zero in the calculator. You might be writing it out and you lose a zero, you put one too many zeros in, and then you do your math and it's all ludicrously wrong. So what we do is we put it in scientific notation. Now in scientific notation, you put the decimal right after the first number. So this will be 1.5. Now 1.5 times 10 to a power. How do we figure out what power? We look at how many decimal places or the decimal moved. So originally the decimal was there and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 places. So 1.5 to the 10th meter. This is something you're going to find it's easier to keep track of because you could lose a 0, but a 10 isn't going to become an 11 or a 9 when you're transcribing it. It's going to stay at 10. Now, later on, you're going to see that math-wise, this is also easier. It's much easier to do math with big numbers if they're in scientific notation. The same thing goes for small numbers. So let me show you something. So the coronavirus is approximately 1,300 millionths of a meter. Yep, 1,300 millionths. So if you want to see what that looks like, that is the size of the coronavirus. It's a 13, it's not a B, by the way. So let's put that in scientific notation. It's going to be 1.3 because the decimal is always after the first digit. And how many places did we move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, you notice we went the other way. So instead of being 7, it's going to be negative. Oops. Made a mistake there. Sorry. 1.3 times 10 to the negative 7. The way you remember it, positive big, negative small. Pretty easy, right? And going the other way is pretty straightforward. If you've got like, 5.4 times 10 to the 4th, you just move the decimal place, okay? 5, 4, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, put zeros in. And if you got like, 3.6 times 10 to the, let me see if I'm even still in the frame. Whoops, I'm getting near the edge of the frame. So if I have, 3.6 times 10 to the negative 6, well, I would just move the decimal point the other way. 3, 6, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's your decimal, so fill the zeros in. It's pretty straightforward. People get a little intimidated by it, but there's no reason to be intimidated by it. Once you start doing it, it goes pretty easy, and when you get used to it, you're going to find it's much faster than trying to deal with all these zeros. Trust me, you'll find it easier in the end. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.